Now it's time for a new feature on the Football Manager Show. It's Search for a Star. I don't know if Steve's made a jingle or not. If he hasn't, I've done it myself there. So the question is, have you ever looked at your squad and wondered, nay, hoped that you could turn a rusty backup into a sparkling star player? Well, with Search for a Star, that's exactly what we aim to do.
And we are looking for players not shining in their role, and we're looking for a bargain, so we've capped it at £30 million. And yes, you definitely can have a £30 million bargain.
£30 million bargains, my word. This week, we're looking at how to make an inverted wing-back when we don't actually have one. Think Blue Peter mixed with weird science. Or if you weren't born in the 80s, think Frankenstein's monster. That's essentially where we're going with here. So let's have a look at these 5 attributes for our inverted wing-back.
So we have 2 technical, 2 mental, and 1 physical attribute. The 2 technical attributes are passing and dribbling. You need that. For the mental attributes, off the ball and decision making, your inverted wing-back needs to make some very good decisions. And lastly, for physical, we have stamina. They are wing-backs or full-backs. They need to last the 90 minutes.
Aaron, do you want to go first and give me one of your people to look at here?
Number 1, we have Manu Trigueros. He's currently at Villarreal now. He's not exactly shining in that central midfielder role. I bet half of you don't even know him. I bet half of you haven't even heard his name. But he's a very, very good technical midfielder. And he's like, you know that player that he's very, very good, but he's not exactly that world-class player. But if you move him into inverted wing-back, maybe, just maybe, we will get to see that. And we'll talk a little bit more about him next week.
Excellent. I like the look of him, to be honest. He's got everything that we need there. The player that I'm going to bring up now, I'm going to go with a player who currently plays in France, a player called Ludovic Blas.
Oh, tasty player. I do like the fact that he's got 16 passing, 15 for first touch and 14 for dribbling as well. He's a very, very good technical player.
Yeah, now the reason I've chosen him here is obviously, if you look there, you've got an inverted winger. So this is obviously part of how the game already sets him out. So he is used to cutting inside. Presumably, this is my thinking here. So he's an inverted winger who can play on the right. Now, I think, therefore, stick him as an inverted wing back on the left and getting him to sort of maybe balance out, or an inverted wing back on the right as well and move him back a little bit. He's pretty good, as you say, with passing. His first touch is very good as well, but more importantly, stamina. He doesn't mind getting up and down the pitch a lot, and I'm guessing if he's a creative player, that he might be able to sort of pull something out the bag as well. So that was my thinking with that one.
Oh, absolutely. Now, for my second player, we've got he's a younger player. He's currently at Parma. His name is Adrian Bernabé. Hopefully I've pronounced that correctly. This is a guy with 13 dribbling, 14 passing. I'm just trying to give you some visuals there. And we've also got decision making, 14, off the balls at 12, so that may need work. But remember, guys, he's only 21. And lastly, the stamina is at 13. Is another left-footed player, just like Ludovic Blas, but he is fairly cheap. Under 10 million, this guy is available for £8.6 million. You can imagine 21 playing in Serie A. The game might go past him, but at fullback, we may be able to get the best out of his ability.
Yeah, that's a good player right there, isn't it? And I've gone as well to Serie A, but also someone who's now plying his trade in England. Now, he's a little bit more expensive. He is Dennis Zakaria. Now, on the face of it, he's a defensively minded midfielder, but of course we want him to be attacking, okay? So he's already got that ball-winning midfielder mentality, so he is used to putting a shift in. He can tackle, he's got stamina of 17, he's determined, he's going to get up and down because his dribbling's 14. That's really good for a ball-winning midfielder. And I think the fact that he's also tenacious means he is going to not let sleeping dogs lie. He is going to run his socks off. So that's why I'm thinking he goes in there for myself. Plus, he's really quick, acceleration's really high, and pace of 15 as well. Try stopping him when he gets going.
Oh, absolutely. So what you've got here is actually a very, very decent fullback who can play in midfield. Now, you might not technically get the the Trent Alexander-Arnold, those brilliant through balls. But what you are getting is someone very, very comfortable in possession. But also think inverted wing backs. You don't want to get caught on that break, do you? And you've got Dennis Zakaria here, good at reading situations and stopping play. So that's a very, very good shout, Tony.
Thank you very much.
And
I like him when I do well here.
And lastly, we do have, oh my God, someone help me with the first name.
I'm going to go with Kefren.
Kefren? We've got Kefren Turam. I believe he is the son of Lilian Turam. He is 21, another young player. I do like these young players. He does play for OGC Nice over in League 1. Now, we've got someone that likes to get further forward. He's got player traits of get into the opposition area. Now, what you guys think inverted wing back on attack tasty? First touch on 14, passing on 15. He's off the balls on 14, and his decision making is on 13. Stamina 15. Now he's hitting those attributes that we are looking for. Available for around £20 million. Wage wise, 14k per week. I mean, this guy is looking very, very decent. Now, when he does get into those sort of advanced areas, we've got someone obviously making very good decisions, but we've also got someone with a sneaky long shot of 13 as well. So he could grab a couple goals.
Well, you say someone who's sneaky. I've actually got my final pick. Okay, now my final pick, if you've struggled with pronouncing your player, Aaron, I mean, I don't even know where I go with this guy. This is Amir Hadzimetovic.
Oh, perfect. I know that was perfect. Yeah.
That sounds spot on, right? That totally sounds spot on. So he's currently playing over in Turkey. Now, bargains-wise, he's looking at about £8 million. Okay? He's currently a deep-lying playmaker. So again, he's maybe got a bit of vision. He maybe sort of like thinks attacking-wise. But look at some of these attributes that he's got. His work rate's really high. His passing's really good. His dribbling's 13. Long shots, we're talking here, 14 as well. Stamina, 13. I think, for me, and the way that I manage, this guy, I reckon, he could be a sneaky little bargain, you know. Think of someone like maybe a Crystal Palace or a Southampton or a Wolves, maybe. Yes. You know, I think he'd fit really, really nicely in there. So that's where my final pick went. So, yeah, Amir all the way.
Oh, that's a very, very nice pick. Now, I have actually noticed something. All of these players that we have mentioned all have decent teamwork. And that attribute reflects how the player can follow tactical instructions whilst working for and alongside his teammates. So, though we all know that fullback is not their natural position, they also got decent work rate, so they're going to work hard for your team, but they're also going to follow your instructions very, very closely, which is what we want from someone that we're moving from central midfield into fullback. We want someone that can listen.
Well, this is the thing as well, and this at the minute is all theory based. We should stress that this is theory based at the minute. So here on Search for a Star, we're going to put our money where our mouths are. And we're going to put the theory to the test. So we're going to do some simulations, aren't we?
Oh,
we're going to see if this works. So what we're going to do is we are going to load up a save. Now, I'm going to put you slightly on the spot at this point, Aaron. Do you have a team in mind as to who you might take?
Okay, we might be a little cheat here, but I'm only thinking of Pep Guardiola here, a manager that likes to use inverted wingbacks, and I'm just thinking of his tactical system. So we could build something similar at Manchester City so the test doesn't go horribly wrong, and we can kind of work out the average rating. So at the end, we're going to see the player's average rating, how much he contributed to the attack as well. So look at things like key passes and the assist, and we're just going to see if that player did really, really well or not in his new role.
See, I like the way that you've looked at this properly, because my gut reaction went Crystal Palace. Let's do that.
We don't want to get sacked in December for playing Ludovic Blas as a fullback.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. So tune in next week to see how I fare at Crystal Palace. Tune in next week to see how Aaron gets on at Manchester City. Spoiler alert, I may have a backup and try Chelsea and try Zakaria, see if that works. But we will be back with the results of Search for a Star next week. But more importantly, if you want us to search for a star, please get in touch. Of course, we need some information from you. We need what position you need filling. we need your budget, we need the league you're playing in, and we need the year that you're playing in. Please do not tell us you are playing in 2052 because it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It has to be within the first sort of 5 years or whatever of the game so that we can try and help you out and we can get you a star.
So make sure you tweet at Tony Jameson or myself at RDF Tactics.
So just to clarify, the reason we've picked these specific attributes for an inverted wing-back, granted, we're looking at sort of dribbling, at passing, off the ball, decision-making, stamina. We're not looking for defensive-minded players, despite the fact, of course, they are playing at the back. We want these attacking mentalities and these attacking attributes as well. Is that right, Aaron?
Oh, absolutely. So what we was kind of looking for are midfielders that we all know are capable of creating chances for their side, but they might not necessarily be the greatest midfielder at that team. So giving them a new role, they may be able to shine in a new role. So basically what we're looking for is a midfielder that we can shift into midfield or at fullback, and then they can play more advanced as a fullback as well. So we're not necessarily looking for a very solid defensive fullback here.
And of course, we do need to remember as well that just because the Stars don't say they can play there, it doesn't mean they can't play there. Isn't that right?
Exactly.
So let's search for a star. That's proper showbiz, isn't it? That's probably a bit. I'm going to dial that down a bit, don't I? Got to dial that down, yeah.